But we haven't spoken about the elephant in the room, Benji.
Yeah.
We've been skirting around this topic. The first year of the Chris Froome project. Now, PCS says he's only got like 1 year left on his deal. They've come out, both Adams and Froome, and said it's a much longer project than that. The first year of this apparently is on €4 to €5 million a year. It's easy to forget, Benji, that a year ago, and I went and watched it, this guy was a functional domestique in the Vuelta for Richard Carapaz, and even like setting him up for some attacks on stages. And he's gone to ISN. It actually couldn't have gone worse. And the excuses or the reasons for his performances both change from Froome as the year has progressed, be it the leg, be it an illness, etc. And then Adams even says different things recently about it. They can't do this for 3 years, surely, because it's people people's patience has already run out. Even people who are like not as maybe harsh as we are, like no one thinks he's going to be contesting GC at the Tour next year.
Yeah, certainly. And a lot of people excuse this transfer then, the amount of money that they throw at Froome with, the marketing exposure that you get from having Froome in the team is significant. Yes, he's certainly a big name, but if he doesn't do anything, you're not going to get much out of that, in my opinion, right? His YouTube channel is his biggest marketing at the moment.
100%. No, Benji, like Catalunya, because I had a lot of his race rides. So Catalunya, I saw how it changed throughout the year. First stage, it was all the B-roll I got sent. All the footage was of Froome at the start of the race, and then all of Froome dropping. Then by the Dauphiné, a little bit less, and it showed him maybe on the stage that Thomas won, dropping on that short climb. But then by the Tour, there's a few interviews, and then he crashed early. I don't remember them showing him at all, because it's not like, okay, if he's in the GC group of 10, but still loses and comes ninth, you're still relevant. Like, you're still, part of the process. Like, Rigoberto Urán was relevant in the Tour, even if you don't think he's that good anymore. But Froome is so far from that. And I think that's also a problem for Woods and Dan Martin, because if Froome was good and living up to that salary, then they don't have to send both of those guys to the Tour de France, one would think. So, I don't know. I just don't see how he had some sort of the stomach bug again.
And he went swimming with crocodiles, so they were basically trying to get him eaten by a crocodile.
He's like, I have a left-right imbalance. I was like, okay, left-right imbalance, okay, it might be 5 watts or something, but you're missing a full 1.5 watts per kilo over 30 minutes. Like, I don't know where that's going to come from. I think he's at a risk of tarnishing his legacy if they continue this for 2 years. I don't. If they come out and be realistic and say, listen, Tour de France GC is not happening, we're going to target something different, and they stop, because I originally blamed the media for drumming it up. No, they fuel it with like Sylvan Adams statements. Do you think he's at a risk of tarnishing his legacy, and do you think he might call it a day after this year if he has another year like this?
I think as time progresses past his peak years, it's logical that more and more people are going to be like, oh, he's there again. He's saying that he will try and go for the Tour de France. The team is saying that he will try and go for the Tour de France again. It's not going to happen, stuff like that. And that will that will be escalating and has a snowball effect and getting larger and larger. And as a consequence, I agree that I wouldn't say the word tarnish yet, but it's definitely going to influence it. I think his biggest fans will still be biggest fans, but for like the middle people, it will certainly have an influence. And I would rather see him just go to the Tour of Turkey and do that mountain stage as leader and see how close he can get there. But then on the other hand, that's the kind of race where Israel should send young climbers to try their stuff. So that kind of coincides with each other. That is against each other. So it's not super easy to say he should go to smaller races and do that, because they probably want the exposure of having him at big races, but that's not working if he doesn't have results. So it's just not working.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, what changed, where his recovery looked slow but okay, and he wasn't back to 2017 Froome after the crash, but he was looking like an okay rider. What happened between the Vuelta 2020 and this year? And if the answer is Israel are not as competent as Ineos and etc., then what's going to change? And so why would he improve? But yeah, I don't know what's happened between then and now, and it's not looking good, and it's a lot of money. But does it matter, Benji, if Froome pays his own salary in a way? If the sponsors come on to pay. If Froome's salary is basically paid for by the additional sponsor money that's guaranteed for Froome's salary, in the same way that a Full Saying or someone brings their own, or Cavendish brought his own salary.
But is that the case here? Because we've got Sylvan Adams paying the big bucks here. So he was already paying the big bucks. So is there really a change in that aspect? I don't think if another sponsor comes close, it's likely because Froome's there.
Well, like he's an investor Froome in Factor now, or Hammerhead, which supply the team. So it's all sort of commingled now. But yeah, I don't know. And that's just one to watch.